I'm a stroke survivor, and I ride the world on three wheels. This is Roll Toward Recovery, a podcast where I take you along on my rides, one trail at a time, and show you what it's like to keep moving forward after a stroke. In this episode, we're staying close to home on one of my favorite rail trails in Connecticut, the Airline State Park Trail. It's an old railroad turned into a bike path, and it's also part of something much bigger. A route that someday I want to ride from Maine all the way down to Florida. I haven't done the big Maine to Florida dream yet. Right now, I'm doing my piece of it here in Connecticut in little chunks, parking the car, unloading my three-wheeled bike, riding out and back one small piece at a time. You're also going to hear how I tell these stories. I live with aphasia after my stroke, so talking in full sentences is still hard. I use AI as a helper behind the scenes to shape my words, clean things up, and give me a clear voice for this show. So today's episode is part trail story, part big dream, and part experiment. 3 wheels, a damaged brain, and a little bit of AI helping me speak. When we come back, I'll tell you about the giant line on the map that runs from Maine to Florida and how the Airline State Park Trail fits into that dream. There's a bike route on the map that runs all the way from Maine to Florida. The East Coast Greenway, a line of trails and quiet roads down the whole Atlantic coast. Someday, I want to ride that whole thing. Maine to Florida. Camping, little towns, bike paths, the full adventure. That trip is in my head and in my heart, but not yet. Right now, my piece of that big dream is here in Connecticut on the Airline State Park Trail. This is one of the paths that connects into that bigger story, and this is where I practice. I picture that long line on the map from the top of New England all the way down to the warm beaches in Florida. And then I zoom in to this one thin trail in Connecticut. This is where I'm training. This is where I'm testing my body, my trikes, and my brain after stroke. I don't wake up and say, today I'm doing Maine to Florida. I wake up and say, today I'm doing what I can. Today I'm doing my miles. The East Coast Greenway is the dream. The airline trail is my classroom. When we come back, I'll tell you how I actually ride it, the parking lots, the out and back rides, and what it's like to move through railroad history on 3 wheels. I don't ride the airline as one long, perfect through trip. For me, it's pieces. I drive to a trailhead, I park the car, I unload my 3-wheeled bike, I ride out, and then I ride back to the same car. That whole little out and back is one ride. That's how almost all my days on the trail start and end. On the airline trail, I've done this on different days, different parking lots, different moods, different weather. Each time the trail feels a little different. Sometimes it's smooth stone dust under the wheels and the trike just glides. Sometimes there are roots and rocks reminding me this used to be an old railroad bed in the woods. When I ride the airline, I don't just see a bike path. A lot of the time, it feels like the old days. You roll under that old airline trail, East Hampton sign, and it's like stepping back in time. The pavement ends, the trees close in, and pretty soon you're on that straight, narrow strip of gravel, green walls of leaves on both sides, no houses in sight. Just a quiet line through the woods where the trains used to run. In some places, the railroad is still written in stone. You pass huge rock cuts where they blasted right through the hillside, the walls rising up on both sides, dark and damp. After a big rain, water spills down those cuts like little waterfalls, dripping over the moss and into the ditch while you roll by underneath. Out in the country sections, there are old bridge abutments and wooden trestles still standing, heavy stone blocks stacked up with trees growing out of them now. You look up at the timbers and you can almost hear a train rattling across overhead, even though it's just birds and wind in the leaves. Then there are the views. You come to a place where the land suddenly drops away, and you're standing on the old fill where the railroad once crossed on a high viaduct. Gravel under your feet, forest down below, sky wide open above you. In the north, near Tucky Road, you hit that strange flooded swamp, full of dead trees sticking out of the water like gray bones. Branches and logs are piled up in the pond, reflected in the still surface. It feels almost spooky. Like a ghost forest, the railroad sliced through 100 years ago and just left behind. All along the way, there are little surprises. Stone arch bridges over creeks, narrow cuts in the rock, shady corridors where the trail disappears straight ahead into a tunnel of green. It makes me think about the people who built this line in the 1800s, the workers with picks and shovels, the stone masons, the crew driving spikes. Long before cars, long before I ever rolled through here on three wheels, they were out here carving this path across Connecticut. The trains are gone now, but the line they left behind is still here. And on my trike, I get to travel it slowly, see every rock wall and swamp and valley they once rushed past at full speed. Out here, you see all kinds of riders, some flying by with electric motors, cruising like it's nothing, some grinding it out with no motor at all. Over the years, I've ridden different trikes, different setups, sometimes with a motor, sometimes without. I use what I need when I need it. I go at my speed, stroke survivor pace, I take my time, and I don't always ride alone. One of the people I dream about riding with again is my friend Brenda. She lives down in Wallingford now, rides three wheels like me. No stroke, but her own health stuff, and she is funny as hell. She even came out and rode one of my airline state park sections with me in Connecticut. Just the two of us rolling and laughing on that old railroad bed. She was born in Canada and her family's up on Prince Edward Island, so someday, maybe next year, I want to meet her up there and ride the trail across that island together. Most of the time, though, it's just me. Me, my three wheels, and the next little piece of trail in front of me. Over time, with all those out and back rides from different parking lots, I actually ended up doing the whole Airline State Park Trail across Connecticut. Not in one big day, but in my way, section by section, season by season, until I had filled it all in. And when I'm out there, that's when I feel the most free. No appointments, no paperwork, no therapy schedule, just me and the bike, maybe a couple people we pass, and that old railroad line stretching ahead. That's why I do it. When we come back, I'll tell you how I'm able to share this story with you at all, what it's like to live with aphasia, and how AI is helping me turn these rides into a voice you can hear. If you're wondering how I'm telling you this story, that's part of the journey too. 12 years after my stroke, I live with aphasia. My mind is clear. I understand everything people say. I know exactly what I want to say back, but getting full sentences out of my mouth is still hard work. In real life, my speech is slower. Sometimes the words get stuck, sometimes they come out jumbled, sometimes I have to fight just to say one simple thing. So for this podcast, I use AI as a kind of speech partner. I bring the ideas, the memories, the feelings from the trail. I bring the miles, I bring the photos and the maps and the Google pins. AI helps me shape the words. It helps me write smooth sentences. It helps turn my rough, broken speech into a story you can follow. Then I use another AI voice to read the script out loud for you so the audio can flow as clean as my trike rolling down the trail on a good day. Three wheels, one stroke survivor with aphasia, and a little bit of AI in the background helping me share the ride instead of keeping it locked inside my head. AI doesn't replace me. It doesn't replace my story. It just helps me say what I already know and feel, so you can hear it too. After the break, I'll close things out with what this ride means to me and what it might mean for you if you're recovering from something in your own life. Thanks for riding with me today. I didn't ride Maine to Florida in this episode, but I did ride the whole Airline State Park Trail here in Connecticut, my way. One car park at a time, one out and back, one little strip of gravel, and history until the whole line was done. And on those rides, I feel free. It's just me and the trike, maybe a friend or two, and the sound of the tires on the trail. No one asking me to hurry up, no one judging my speech, no one measuring my disability. Just movement, fresh air, and that feeling that for a little while, nothing else matters. That's why I keep doing these trails. If you're listening to this and you're a stroke survivor, or you live with aphasia, or you're just trying to come back from something hard, I hope this gives you a picture of what's possible. You don't have to do the whole trail or the whole coast all at once. You can do it the way I do it. One day, one ride, one small victory at a time. And if you're curious about the tools I'm using, the trikes, the trails, and the AI that helps me turn my thoughts into a voice, stick around for future episodes. I'll be talking more about all of it: gear, routes, recovery, and how technology can help people like me speak and ride a little farther. I'm Mike Weed, stroke survivor, 3 wheels, big trails. Thanks for listening to Roll Toward Recovery. I'll see you out there on the next ride.